Hey, is TheSpicyBois here with another Titanfall 2 video. Today I'm going to be doing another Titan guide. This Titan guide is going to be on Ion. So I would just like to thank Otter Devotee for telling me how I could make my videos better. So if you have any more advice, please put it in the comments below. And yeah, let's get into this. So Ion is the only Titan in the game that requires energy management. You can't just drop your abilities whenever they're ready. Ion has this pool of energy that you'll see on the left of your screen, and every single one of Ion's abilities uses it except for the normal mode on the splitter rifle. So I'm going to go through every single one of Ion's abilities and his weapons and give you some details and try to tell you how to use it effectively. So Ion's primary weapon is not too hard to understand. It has two firing modes: the normal mode, which fires one shot, and the splitter mode, which shoots 3 projectiles and 5 projectiles if you're using refraction lens. It's like a rapid fire mastiff in a way. It has a 40 round magazine and consumes one round per shot, even when you're using the splitter mode. The splitter mode also consumes energy very fast and should not be used very often. It's only good for taking out pilots at close range, and yeah, so never use splitter shot on enemy titans because the energy is more effectively used elsewhere. The splitter rifle can be very hard to land a kill with anything beyond medium range because of its bad accuracy and slow speed. So let's talk about the pilot killer in Ion's kit, the laser shot. The laser shot is a very powerful hit scan weapon that is a guaranteed kill against an enemy pilot if the shots are landed. It shoots in a perfectly straight line and can be used essentially as a snapshot at all ranges against both titans and pilots with great effect. It used 50% of your it used to use 50%. I don't know what it used. I think I might use 60% of your max energy now. So you want to use it to just poke enemies. Poking out behind cover. Don't be that loser that tries to use it aggressively. And it gives enemy pilots basically no time to react. So yeah, it's pretty good. You need to be behind cover. You can zoom using the laser shot, and you can hold it for a certain amount of time. This does not add damage or charge it up or anything. It just lets you look for the opportune shot. It is the bread and butter for Ion's offense. The next is the vortex shield. The vortex shield is very hard to use effectively. It's good defensively and offensively. If it was in the first game, it was in Titanfall 1 as one of the most overpowered defensive abilities ever. Now it's more, I'd say it's a little more balanced because it uses energy. It uses Ion's energy and it drains it pretty fast. So anyways, you can get rid of a ridiculous amount of damage with it, and then you can switch that back and send it back at whatever Titan shot at you. You can maintain it for about 8.5 seconds with a full energy reserve. You can keep in mind that you can drop the shield anytime you feel safe enough to. You can drop the shield anytime you feel safe enough to regen energy. Vortex shield is direct counter to Legion because you can. If a legion does not know when to stop firing, it is going to get destroyed by your laser shot. So yeah, you can take out a legion if you use it effectively. You can take out a legion without losing barely any health at all. So anyways, not all legions will fall as easily into your trap, but it's pretty easy on public matches. Vortex shield is also pretty good against pilot modes with AI. You can let the AI shoot a few rounds into your vortex shield and shoot it back at them, and it works really well. If a pilot shoots into your vortex shield, it will immediately one-shot pilots. Anything that goes to your vortex shield will one-shot a pilot, so that's nice. Yeah, so that is Vortex Shield, and let's talk about the tripwire. I think it's a pretty strong part of Ion's kit. If you use 0-point tripwire, it will not take any of your energy. It uses about 33% of your max energy, and it's a tripwire. But anyways, as I forgot to mention before, Vortex Shield also has an ability called Vortex Amplifier. I don't find it very useful unless you are in a situation where there are a lot of legions that do not know when to stop firing. So anyways, sometimes it's good for if a Ronin's closing in on you. If you're using 0-point tripwire, you can kind of just drop it offensively and get some pretty high damage. You can drop it to discourage a Ronin. Ronins are pretty stupid, honestly. Like it. I mean, I'm not saying they're bad, but I'm just saying they're not very good at trying to figure out how to use a tripwire. Sometimes they'll just run through the tripwire and take all of the damage. And if they were smart, they'd use phase dash, but it doesn't really work. It works against novice players. It is a bit of a gamble, but you can also use it if you have a pilot rodeoing. You can drop your tripwire, turn around, and crouch, and then when the pilot jumps off, the tripwire has a huge hitbox, so it will immediately kill that pilot. Anyways, Laser Core is a beast. It destroys everything. You need to be aware though that you are not allowed to dash. You'll move slower and you are exposed to damage while using it. Like nearly all the core abilities, you try to use this during a flank, and they're also, or if they use bad 10 placement. So let's do some tips and tricks. So if a pilot lands a Firestar on you, you can pull it off yourself with the Vortex Shield and fire it back. It's pretty awesome. When you're playing against a tone, let them hit you 3 times with the 40mm rounds, and watch for shoulder rockets so you can catch them. The 40mm rounds do not actually do that much damage, so if you shoot your tone with her own rockets, it does a nice chunk of damage. Note that the actual best way to know that you're about to get shoulder rockets in the face is the actual visual tell of the rocket pod popping up on the shoulder. Train your eye to look for that and pop up. This is kind of like a tone tip, but if you're shooting an ion, try not to fire your rocket salvo whenever ready. I should probably save this for the tone guide, but you can throw off ions by firing your tracker rounds 4 or 5 times instead of just 3, and then using the rockets to throw them off if they're not paying attention. You do not want to try and catch Tone's salvo core with the Vortex Shield because it has a mechanic that drains your energy in a split second. It applies to most cores. So anyways, that is my Titan Ion guide. I hope you enjoy it. I got most of my information from someone on Reddit. I will put a link to them in the description. So I hope you enjoyed the video. TheSpicyBois out.